Yo, what is my bubbly boys back here with another video? Hope you guys have an amazing day. Today we are back from locals and I'm happy to say we came in third place top cut in my Alliance Insight Premier event locals. So I'm really excited to show you guys this because what I brought to this event was Unchained Fiendsmith live twin, right? So I know I did put up a vote on the channel because if you don't know, I do put up votes on the channel for what deck to bring next to locals, and you guys voted for a live twin Fiendsmith, but it was more of like a hand trap variant, but the only like hand trap control variant, right? But the only problem was I didn't get my Fiendsmith stuff in time, right? I ordered Engraver and Sanct because I can't afford Track at the moment, so I went for Sanct instead. But the only problem was the deck wasn't really that good, and I didn't get my 2 copies of Sanct, so it was very unfortunate. So I had to go with a different variant, and the variant that I went with was Live Unchained Fiendsmith, with the Unchained part of the deck being the hefty Unchained package. So I really liked the deck. It performed actually really well, to be honest. And my results were locals. We got the new live 2 cards. Let's go, boys. We also got a couple of other cards. We got March Hare, the new Malice cards. We got like a quarter century Regenesis Archfiend, which is very nice. So we did get a couple really good pulls for the event. So I'm really happy about it. I mostly went to the event for the new live twin cards, which we did get. So I'm really happy about that. And yeah, so I'm going to show you guys card by card of the deck list I brought to locals, and just give you a rundown of reasons why I ran these certain cards, right? So before we get started, don't forget to like and subscribe, which as we are trying to reach 1,000 subscribers. So if you haven't already, please consider subscribing. I greatly appreciate it. And let's hop right into it. Alrighty, so for the monsters, we're running 3 copies of Live Twin Lila. This is definitely going to change post Alliance Insight, but remember this deck list is still pre Alliance Insight, so we still have to run the 3 Lila, and of course you have the 1 key skill and then the 1 key skill Frost. That is it for the Live 2 monsters. We're not running any more, no more, no less. And yeah, let me give you a quick rundown on why we're running these ratios, right? The 3 Lila is because it's best normal summon because it gets you to Frost. Post Alliance Insight, you're gonna be running 3 key skill instead because it can play through hand traps better, because the new Link 1. And basically the whole idea of this is because you need 1 key skill here. The 1 key skill, the 1 main deck key skill is mandatory, is because not only is it serves as a starter, it also works really well with Droplet. So if you're running Droplet in the deck, you still really need the key skill, because if you're going for like the Droplet trick where you go normal summon Lila, let me get this here, normal summon Lila, actually the effect that they go ahead and like negate it with like Blue Eyes Ultimate or something like that, you go Droplet, send a Lila, negate the Blue Eyes Ultimate, and then after that, Lila resolves summon out key skill, right? So if you summon out this key skill, you're not going to get anything out of it, okay? So you definitely need to go ahead and go summon out this key skill, so that way this key skill can trigger, summon back a Lila from the deck, and then you can still keep on playing. So basically that's the exact same thing while also having a negate on board. It is very nice, and a free send off a Droplet. So that's why I really like Droplet in the deck too. Droplet is really insane, especially for live twins, since you just have free sends because of the live twin monsters, the way they work. So it's just really nice. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So yeah, so you definitely need 1 key skill. The 1 key skill is also here as an extra name as well. You do need a secondary name, and it's also here because of the 2 card combo. So there's a 2 card combo in the deck where it involves a live twin plus an extender, but you need to use the main deck key skill, so that way you could go ahead and search the extender and use it later on, right? And that combo basically helps you play around Nib, because you set up like a Necrocrypt plus Engraver, and you go into Caesar, and that helps you play around Nib very nicely, right? So that is it for live twin monsters. Next, we're going to go on to the spells. We have 3 Sunny Snitch and 1 Secret Password. Sunny Snitch is self-explanatory. It's a Rhoda. Doesn't lose a draw at all either. Secret Password is not self-explanatory though, since it does lose a draw, but the only reason I'm running it was because as a thrust target, right? So I am running a thrust in the deck, 3 thrusts in the deck, which we'll get onto later on. But basically, this gives you an option to thrust for the live twin engine. And yeah, that's pretty much the only reason we're running Secret Password here, which I did thrust for Secret Password a couple of times, and it did win me some games, so I'm really happy about that. In the future though, I'm not too sure if it was that important, to be honest, because going second as it is, you don't really want to search for your live twin stuff. They're not really good going second. So yeah, definitely gonna consider changing that out, right? So that's it for the live twin engine. There's a total of, let's see here, you have 4 here and another 4. That's 8 live twin starters plus the extender, which you don't really want to draw most of the time, but it's still like it's decent post Alliance Insight because now you're gonna have the key skill deal, so it'll be fine post Alliance Insight. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So that's it for the live stuff. Now we're gonna go to the Fiendsmith stuff. For the Fiendsmith stuff, we're running a 2 engraver. Very nice. Now I can finally afford this. And of course, my Sanct didn't come in, but I did. Everybody was real cool at my locals. They shout out to them, man. They're freaking goated. They let me play a proxy of the Sanct, right? Basically, Sanct here is here because it's a budget option, right? It's a very, very, very nice budget option too. The only problem is that Engraver doesn't serve it as an extender. Okay, so basically what I mean by that is Sanct is here because you need a target for Engraver, right? And that will make Engraver a starter, basically, right? And basically what Sanct is here for, it's... Yeah, that's... Okay, I just repeated myself here real quick. Okay, so Sanct, all 3 of these cards are also starters. This gets you to your Unchained engine. Which is very nice, and that's basically the whole reason behind this engine, right? You have the 2 engravers on 1 Sanct. This is all just here just to get to your Unchained engine if you don't happen to draw into it, right? Or if you want to just bridge from Live Twin to the Unchained stuff. It also just makes your board way, way bigger as well, because it helps you get extra bodies on board. It helps you play through Nib too, just in case they didn't Nib you, and you could go with some back to Engraver from Grave, and go into something like Sequence or something like that. It's so good in so many ways. And it helps you really nicely for grind game too, recycling your resources, stuff like that, right? And Sanct is very nice too because it has a bonus effect where it can set itself if a Fiendsmith card you control is destroyed by battle card effect. So it's very, very nice. As well, Engraver here is for breaking boards as well. So it's very, very nice, right? So the only reason we're running 2 Engraver is because you need 2 for the combo, but you don't run 3 is because it doesn't serve as an extender, right? Because Sanct can only be activated if you control only Light Fiends or no monsters at all, right? So that's why you only run 2 engravers. Okay. Next for the Unchained stuff, we have this newly semi-limited Shavar. Very, very nice. You do need 2 because now you don't have to run Disaster anymore, so you do need to run 2 Shavar just because of that. Next you have 3 Aruha. A very nice extender. These are basically your extenders of the deck. Basically, if they negate your starters, basically if they negate your Fiendsmith or Live Twin engine, you have this plus a trap, and that still extends to your opponent's plays very nicely as well. As well, like helps you go through Nib sometimes, right? I haven't got Nibbed at all today. I mostly only got Full Loss, but I had Ash for Full Loss, so it was very, very nice. We have also the 1 Sarama, the 1 Shayama, and then the 1 Abominable. These 2 are mainly the bricks. This is a semi-brick, depending on the hand that you have. But this is very nice. This came up so many games. I'm never going to take this out, bro. Like, this card came up so clutch in so many games. Shayama's really, really good, too. Its pop effect for a spell trap came up so many times, especially in, like, my Odeon matchups, where I needed to pop one of, like, the Pophis or something like that, or the Field Spell. It just came up so many times as well, like, against the Odeon Fiendsmith version, where you could just pop the sequence, which is very nice. It just forced out so many things. And you also have Sarama here too, which is very nice. This one is also really good as a droplet target too. Okay, so that is it for the Unchained monsters. For the Unchained Spider Traps, we're just running 3 Abomination's Prison. It's a free searcher, so might as well just run 3 of it. You also have 2 Chambers and 1 Escape. So we're just running bare minimum here. You don't need more, you don't need less. 2 Chamber here, 1 for follow-up, 1 for the combo. And this is you could set it up just in case if you end on only Unchained stuff. So if you end up not going into your Live Twin engine, you go into Escape. And if you go into your Live Twin engine, you end on Chamber. Okay. Next for the non-engine. So yeah, that is it. Mainly it for the main engine. We also have our non-engine though. So to beat Full Loss and stuff like that, because Full Loss is definitely one of the basically the one card that kills this deck most of the time, right? So that's why we have to run 3 Ash, 3 Droll, and 1 Call By. This is absolutely mandatory in order to beat Full Loss. As in Full Loss being such a problematic card for this deck, you do need to run all of these to beat Full Loss as well. They're really high impact hand traps too. So you're getting a really good value off of that too. And Call by the Grave as it is, it's also being a really good board breaker. In the Malice matchup, is good against Blue Eyes, is good against Fiendsmith, it's good against so many things. There's so many like interactions that Call by the Grave comes with. And it's a quick play too, so we can set it and use it on your opponent's turn. There's so many implications for this. It's not just for Fool Us. You have to run this no matter what. I feel like this is main deckable almost all the time. It's just so insane. And then lastly, For the rest of the deck, we have 3 Droplet and 3 Thrust with 1 Talons. I wish I ran another target for the Thrust, but I just didn't have enough room for the deck. This is a clean 40 card deck. I really like the 3 Droplet and 3 Thrust. It just broke through boards very easily. I went against Blue Eyes game 1. He ended on like double Spirit Dragon with Ultimate on board. I believe that's what he ended on or something like that. I know it was something with like Magia too. But just very, very nice overall. This alone helped me break through a whole Blue Eyes board. Because I sent 3 cards, negated 3 cards, and one of them was like Shama, so then I set a trap and it was full combo. Absolutely insane. So yeah, that's pretty much it. That's it for the main deck. The main deck is clean 40. And let's go on to the extra deck. So the extra deck, we have a 1 Key Skill, 1 Lila, 1 Trouble Sunny. That's all we could fit in the main. Especially since we're running things like Necrocrypt that I really didn't want to run, but you kind of have to. And this deck, because we're running Sanct and all that good stuff. You only run 1 of each, right? I never ran out of any of these though, which is very, very nice. Sure they got attempted to like Bestial and stuff like that, but I've never really ran out of these because Fiendsmith stuff can just shuffle this back, and the Lila is just it's Lila. Plus you also have the whole Unchained engine for follow up. You have the old Fiendsmith engine. You're not relying on only these, right? So you don't. It's not the end of the world if you lose access to these. You still have 2 other engines to rely on. So next for the Fiendsmith engine, we have 1 Requiem, 1 Sequence, 1 Aerial Eater, and a 1 Necroquip. Alright, that's it for the Fiendsmith engine. I'm not running Desiree because we don't have high enough Light Fiend count because we're not running Lacrima either. So we don't get to a high enough Light Fiend count in order to actually set up a Desiree. And this engine is mostly just for breaking boards because with the Requiem you get able to like equip it to the Fiendsmith and basically just break your opponent's board with the Fiendsmith. You can either do that, or you can play around Nib, setting up a early Caesar, which is also really nice. And also this can set up Aerial Eater, which basically is a 1-card combo. Makes it a 1-card combo for the Unchained engine since you could just set from deck off of a Shavar and then go link into Yama with the Sequence and the Aerial Eater. So this is very, very nice. I really love the engine. And then next, speaking of Unchained, we have the Unchained stuff. So we're running 1 Yama. I really wish I could have ran 2. There was times where I kind of wanted to, but I never really needed it, right? So next you have 1 Rage, 1 Anguish. Anguish came up clutch today. Absolutely insane. 1 Abomination, and then 1 Abaoku. Abaoku was kind of crazy today. I never actually got to the draw effect because everybody kept on removing this on board before I could actually get to the draw effect, which is kind of funny to be honest. And Abomination, I set this up once, but I never used the pop effects like multiple times, right? Every time I use Anguish, it should force out either interruption or just linked with their opponent's monster. I mostly set up a Baoku though off of the Anguish since you can do that. And then lastly, for the rest of the extra deck, we have 3 extra slots. So what I ran was Muckraker. Muckraker I never went into at all today, but in theory is actually really, really nice, especially for the grind game as well. You have 1 SP, and then after that you have 1 Caesar, right? Caesar, of course, is just your end board. This you go into off of Rage, and then Muckraker, it's just good for a grind game, right? So yeah, that's pretty much it for the extra deck, and then let's go on to the side deck. So for the side deck, we're running 3 Lancia and then 3 Bell. Okay, Lancia is self-explanatory. This is mostly and only for Malice. I did side this against Malice, but the only fortunate part is the one time I needed it, it did not come up. I did not draw into it, so very unfortunate. And Bell is also really good against Malice, right? So the whole idea of Bell, it covers so many matchups. It's not worth not running basically, if that makes sense. All right, so it's good against the Rising matchup because I believe it can negate Dual Drive. It's good against the Brandon matchup. It's good against the Labyrinth matchup. It's good against the Malice matchup because you can negate the Monster Warren effect. The one trap GWC something. It can negate. It's good against the Fiendsmith stuff. It's so good against so many different decks. It's good against the Blue Eyes deck too. It's good against the Memento. There's so many matchups where this card comes in so good. It's not worth not running, to be honest. It's so good. Yeah. So that's it for the hand traps, mostly the monsters for the side deck. And then now we have some more board breakers here. Book of Eclipse. This came in clutch against Blue Eyes today. You have Lightning Storm and Harpy's Feather Duster. This basically won me a game against the Odeon duelist I went against. These are very, very good. I had this as Metaltronus, but I changed the last minute for Book of Clips. Thank goodness I did. And then for going first cards, we have 2 Judgment, one Different Dimension Ground, and 1 D-Barrier. To be honest, I wish I ran Sanctum. Sanctum is definitely one of the cards I wish I had room for. I just couldn't find any room for it. And Judgment is mostly here because you need to be able to negate spells and traps. So basically, it is basically any board breakers, because this deck does lose to like Lightning Storm, basically almost any board breaker. So that's like a really problematic thing for the deck. So that's why I run Judgment, just to negate those board breakers. Alright, so yeah, that is it for today's video. Hope you guys enjoyed. Very, very proud of the deck overall. It did very, very well. I do recommend this as a budget option as well. It's a very, very good budget option, except for a Baoku, but a Baoku is like an easy replacement, right? You don't really need a Baoku that much, right? So that is it for today's video. Hope you guys enjoyed. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.